Well, good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, John.
So nice to have you with us. Thanks for
you.
traveling down from the northern part of Orange County, and you made it safe. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. And you know what? Before we started, I was writing your name down because I wanted to make sure I got it right.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Oluwakemi.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Got it. And that's by way of a formal introduction. You are based here in Orange County, but you service multiple counties all around us. LA, Riverside, San Bernardino.
Yes.
And of course, Oceanside.
San Diego.
My dad lives in Oceanside.
Oh,
San
okay.
Diego.
Yeah.
Okay.
San Diego County.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Wow, you really specialize in a lot of areas, and
Yes.
can't wait to get to know you better so we can send you more referrals.
Oh, thank you so much. And I love living in Southern California. It's an amazing place to live. So yeah, and each county has its special things about it. So yeah.
Oh, it does. And yeah, my dad is down in Oceanside area, and every time I go down there, he's always trying to yank us to come on, move down here with us, move down there. I'm like, Dad, I can't. It's so beautiful, but it's a little sleepy. It's a little, out over here in Orange County and LA, things are moving, and it's a little more our pace,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
And first of all, we want to know, how did you get into real estate?
It's kind of like a life story. So I growing up, my mom got her real estate license when I was a teenager, and eventually got her broker's license. And I had a little interest in it then, but still, grew up, went to college. I became an elementary school teacher. I was in elementary education for 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the first time that I really was like, man, I want to do this was when I bought my first house in 2017. I was teaching for Palm Springs Unified School District, and I had the opportunity to purchase a home in Desert Hot Springs, which is one of the cities.
It's a nice area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that it's one of the cities that Palm Springs Unified services. And just the process of because my mom was my agent at the time, she was just like, find what you want and then let me know. I got pre-approved, which is the most important step, so I knew what I could afford. And then she was like, okay, let me know when you find something you want.
Let's go shopping.
Yes, and that was my favorite part. My favorite part was just looking at all these different places and then learning about things like HOA. Do I want to be somewhere where there's an HOA? Do I want a condo? Do I want a single family residence but in an HOA community, or just a single family residence by itself? And I was sad after I stopped. So when I found my house, I purchased it. I was like, I loved it. It was beautiful. And then I was like, oh, I'm sad it's over.
And you enjoyed the process.
Yeah. So I wanted to keep going back. And I thought about leaving teaching. That was 2017, but I didn't go into studying for real estate until 2022.
Oh, wow. So, okay, this little thing called a pandemic hit.
Yes.
In 2020.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and obviously that affected teaching during
did.
that time. Did you have to go online to Zoom and
I was
all that?
teaching first graders online. It was very challenging.
A squirrel. Right?
Yes.
To keep their focus and attention?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then I was just like, wow, I really want to go into it, but now it's not the right time. Pandemic. Okay, 2021 comes around, still teaching. So my district, we were teaching from home for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we taught from home 2020 and all of 2021. And then 2022 came around. I switched to a different district, and I was just like, it's either I do this now, I'm gonna keep making excuses. Yeah. It's either I just go for it, and I didn't want to go for it in a way where, I was just gonna do both. I'm an all or nothing kind of person, and I was kind of done with that part of my life, the teaching part.
You did it.
I just knew I didn't want to do it anymore. So I gave my all to real estate, to studying for real estate, and then I passed my exam 2023.
Not an easy test.
Yeah.
First time?
First time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Prior, I started interning as well with a company.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll work for free for the experience. I have some money saved up. Why not?
Man, that's exciting. So, that mentality and part of the, the title of this podcast is The Mindset of a Champion. What sets you apart? So what I'm hearing is you were developing that champion mindset to say, you know what, anything I do, I'm all in. And I've kind of fulfilled this chapter of my life in teaching, educating, helping people. And that's wonderful. What a great service. We love our teachers. And now, you know what? I need something else to fire me up.
Yeah.
Another passion. And no doubt you probably look back on the experience that you went through, the home buying experience. You're like, I love the home buying experience.
I do.
I want to help others. Right?
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just loved the process. And I think once you go through it, you start understanding, like, this isn't something that's impossible. Like, prior to that, I also had this mindset that I do kind of find in a lot of, like, millennials. I'm considered a millennial, I guess, that, oh, no, this is impossible. This is not something I'm going to be able to do
It's not
in my life.
affordable. I can never do it.
And then when you finally go through the process, you're like, oh, this isn't impossible at all. Like, I can do this again and again and again and again. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. So you start on your journey in 2022 through 2023, and right about that time in late 2020, because the rates were fantastic in 21 and parts of 22, right?
Yes.
Just plummeted all the way down 2 point. I even got a guy at 1.99.
Wow.
And as long as he doesn't mess up his finances and get in tremendous debt,
Yeah.
he'll never touch that again.
Yeah,
It's
mine wasn't
fantastic.
even that way in 2017. It wasn't even that low.
Yeah.
No,
it came on just powerfully low. And then we all know it went this direction.
Right.
It went straight up, and a lot of people decided, ooh, I better hold off. I can't afford these high monthly payments now, and the market changed.
Yeah.
And I think to be quite realistic, a lot of people in my field, loan officers, there were whole loan broker shops that were closing down all over the place.
Right.
They're like, we can't, we don't have the inventory, there's not enough applications coming in, and they closed their doors. A lot of realtors all over the country were leaving the business.
Yeah.
I got to go take care of my family, I got to make money here. But those of us that stayed in it to win it, we were able to position ourselves
Yes.
to help people. People always need to buy, sell, or refinance for various circumstances.
Right.
You came in at the perfect time.
I agree. Like, when I kind of shared with some colleagues when I was leaving teaching, and some friends, they were just like, no, like, now is not the time. The people are leaving, like you said, all these things are happening. And I thought to myself, well, this is the perfect time, because for me, it's the perfect time, because if it's a time where it's extremely difficult to be a realtor, mortgage broker, insurance, then this is the time I want to go in. So when things get better, I'll just be able to really flow through it. And I've honestly been so blessed during this time. I don't like to be told no. And I don't mean in like a defiant way.
Yeah.
Just like, if I have a dream, if I have a vision for my life and someone tells me no, it's not necessarily that I try to prove them wrong.
Right.
But if I feel something so strongly in me, I just have to go for it.
Yeah, it's like, why can't I have it?
Yeah,
if I work
exactly.
hard enough, I deserve to reach my goal.
And I feel like I have what it takes. Like, I'm like, I have what it takes.
Yeah.
No matter what the market is, I have what it takes to really enlighten and inform people that this is still possible.
That's good confidence. And when you have knowledge, and then you couple that with confidence, because when you know and understand things, you're more confident about
agree.
The process, how things go in the home buying. So now it's effort. Now you put that effort behind that confidence and that drive, and you start to see success.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your market, the areas that you serve. Is there inventory there? Are people still buying and selling? Tell us a little bit.
Yeah. So again, the counties that I'm based in Orange County. I work LA County to San Diego County. So I'd say at anything in between Los Angeles County, Orange County, Riverside County, San Bernardino County, San Diego County.
You're all over.
Yes. But just with the focus, like if in all counties, this is a seller's market, meaning that the inventory is not greater than the demand. The demand is much greater. Especially in Orange County. Out of those 5 counties, Orange County has the highest median home price. Yes. So, which means that they're seeing still a lot of growth, a lot of purchases. Over 30% of purchases are above asking. So there's a high demand in Orange County. There's a high demand in Southern California in general, and pretty much short story long. I'll say this: there's more buyers than there are sellers.
Yes.
And so that's what the market is, and it's just a really desirable area to live. Like I was in Dubai in January, and they're known for their weather, but honestly, and the weather was great, but California weather, Southern California
Nothing
weather,
like it.
Nothing like it. Oh gosh. Yeah. So it's understandable why. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people say, well, everybody's exiting California. For as many people are leaving, we are getting that many more people back.
An influx.
An influx. And it's incredible. But now you focus on, that's a huge area. For anybody that doesn't know, Los Angeles all the way down to San Diego, that's about a good hour and a half, 2 hours just driving without traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic out around here is crazy. But then you go out this way, east as well, to San Bernardino and those Riverside and those counties.
Yes.
That have grown tremendously
Yes.
over the last 10 years even.
Yeah.
You used to be able to get homes out there, 195,
Right.
175.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Oh yeah.
So built up over there, but still inventory. There's a lot of opportunity. So with that being the case, I get asked this all the time. Is now a good time to buy? What's your response to that?
I say it's always a good time to buy. I mean, in 2017, I was told, oh no, now is not a good time. There's always going to be a population of people who believe it's not a good time to buy. And what they're waiting for is they're waiting for society to say, now is a good time.
Go ahead. You can go now.
Now you can go. And you have to be a homeowner, I believe to have anything great in this life, you have to be a person that's very sure with yourself and with your decision making. So my saying is that it's always a great time to buy. And I'm not just saying this as a realtor. Like I learned that when I purchased my first home. It was like I said, I was like, wow, this is possible. I ended up a year and a half after purchasing the house becoming a landlord and being able to rent that out.
Wonderful.
But I saw my parents do that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
follow the pattern.
Yes.
Success.
So because I saw that and my parents own, multiple homes, I was able to do that. The way you're going to be able to do that is you have to expose yourself to it.
Yeah.
Don't expose yourself to the people who are giving you reasons why not to, because this is sometimes they're telling you no while they're doing it. Really trust if this is what you want. Get in touch with a great lender.
Thank you.
And really find out how you can get from point A to point Z. And that's the first step. A great lender will tell you, okay, if you're not here now, this is how you get there.
Yeah.
And another thing I will say, so my house out in Desert Hot Springs was like turnkey ready, perfect, 205,000. It was for sale for $199.
Oh.
I bought it for $205 because there were other people in there when I went to go look at it. And I would say I forgot why I even said that.
That's all
But
right.
It was leading into something.
You bought at a great time.
Yeah.
It was 197. You went over asking because there was competition there.
Yes.
You really wanted to get that home.
Yes. And I was still hearing now is not a great time from like media.
Really?
Yeah.
And you didn't listen to that. You trusted the process,
Mm-hmm.
and now that became your first home. That's now rented, which led you to purchasing more.
Yes. Yeah.
That's you trusted, you knew yourself, like you said. You had
Yeah.
confidence. You also watched good examples in your parents.
Yes.
Probably listened to their
That
good
part.
advice too, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. My parents, they bought homes like, back when we would consider more affordable as well, right?
Right.
Where you could get a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom if you moved out to the suburbs for $300,000, $350,000, right?
Those were the days.
I would say to my generation, to millennials, and not just my generation, but anyone who wants to really get into purchasing real estate, don't be afraid to start smaller.
Yeah.
Because we're in California, the value is always going to be there.
Yeah.
It may come down slightly, but it's always on its way up. So that's what I wanted to say, is that don't be afraid to start smaller. There's so many people who still want, well, I want the $300,000,
Right.
2,000, 2,500 square foot home. And you can get there. Maybe it's from taking equity out of your first investment. There's so many different things you can do,
Yeah, that's so good. And you know what's interesting too is that we talk about a champion mindset, and you displayed that. You said, you know what? I want this. I have good examples. I'm not going to listen to the naysayers. I'm going to go for it. And that takes a champion mindset, someone that knows I want to win and I will win with the right team behind you.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this mindset, because we hear a lot about it. There's podcasts everywhere talking about this mindset, right? But the mindset of a champion, having a mindset of a champion, how does that affect your daily routine?
For me, having a mindset of a champion is, and I actually got this from being an educator. We're always learning. We consider ourselves lifelong learners. But on top of that introspection of like, what can I do today to be even better than I was yesterday? That, and then being able, it sounds kind of cliche, but truly being able to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for someone to tell you this is the right time to do what it is that you want to do, you may be waiting for a while.
It's true.
Forever, You have to be able to believe in yourself, in your work ethic, that you have what it takes. And that's my mindset. I always know, even when things get difficult, Elizabeth, you have what it takes. Don't forget you have what it takes.
do this.
Don't
You got
give
it.
up. If you're going to be down for this moment, let it pass and then keep going forward.
Yeah, that's so good. And I know for myself, and my wife, it's knowing your why.
Yes.
For me, I wake up, for me, it starts the night before. Get everything ready, my clothes out, I know my day, I know what's happening. And then when I get up, I realize the reason why I'm getting up so early is because of her. It's my why. I need to take care of her. I love her. I want her to be happy. And that drives me every single day. And you and I are in a business, we work for free.
Yes.
Until we don't, until we actually help a family, get them into their home, and then we're provided compensation. But until that time, everything we do, we're working for free.
Yeah.
And so that motivation, I can't, not put food on the table. I want to make sure everything's taken care of. So knowing your why, being intentional about we all have 24 hours in the day. I need to spend X amount of time, and I want to spend X amount of time with my wife. And then from there, then we have friends and a family and all that other stuff.
Right.
But during the day, what am I doing? How am I using my time? Did I put us in a position to make some money and take care of the family? Did I put us in a position to build new relationships that I can now help other people grow their business? That's what for me personally, when I think of myself as a champion, And what actually sets me apart from thousands of other loan officers, I think, what did I do for someone today? And then I sleep really good at night because I know every day I work really hard to help other people grow their business.
Yes.
And that I'm sure that resonates with you too as you go about your daily routine.
Yes, absolutely. What motivated me to become a real estate agent as well is I wanted to offer the educational part. I want my clients to be fully informed of the process.
Yeah.
I want them to be excited about it, not scared, not fearful. I think one of the things that can really, kill buyer's remorse is that understanding of what a wonderful investment they just made and how it's going to change and impact the rest of their life. So I want it to be kind of, it can be kind of a shark area, right?
Yeah.
Real estate. You meet a lot of people that are like, I have to have this attitude because I want to have that power, that firmness, that power to still stand my ground on things, but still be friendly, kind, welcoming, approachable. That's my approach to real estate.
That's fantastic. And that kind of dovetails with the question because we use these podcasts to help send you referrals.
Yeah.
In fact, we talked about one that I'm sending you this morning,
Yes.
right? And so I'm excited about that. Actually, two. We connected you with a realtor partner in
Yes.
Texas that
Yeah.
now is going to use your services. But
So
then
awesome.
on also some leads that we purchased together, there's another opportunity. So sending some leads your way.
Yes.
But I want to continue to do so. And I'll use this podcast because the rest of that title is What Sets You Apart. There's thousands of realtors. There's a lot in this area. But why should someone come and seek out Elizabeth? And you told us some things there too, but I'm going to give you just a second to elaborate a little bit more. What sets you apart?
What sets me
It's your
up-
chance to brag, and it's
Yes.
okay because I'm asking you the question.
Okay. I would say, what sets me apart is my passion for the industry, my passion to help people self-actualize in this way. I think real estate is an amazing way to really establish yourself in the United States, let alone California, right? And so just really being able to educate my clients, not just, hey, you want this house, I'm the realtor for you, but really making sure they have an understanding of it. I do this full time. The reason why I'm able to work those 5 counties is because real estate is all I do.
It's your life.
Yes, yeah. So I've made sure 2025 and beyond, real estate is the career that I'm doing, and because I want to be able to be available to my clients at all times. If you've got to call me right before bed, don't be afraid to. I love doing this. I eat, sleep, breathe this, but I also I've been in the service field pretty much all my life. Like had my first job at 15. I was an educator. I love to help others. And so I believe real estate is a great way, not just to help children, as education was a great way to help children, but now their families, right? And to help them learn how to create generational wealth, pass on generational wealth. Those things are really important for me. And then also, again, I'm going to say with millennials, I heard so much from friends, colleagues, like, oh, we've given up on the house thing. Oh, that's not going to happen for us. And I'm like, no, this can happen for us too. We just have to take a different route and have a different understanding of what real estate in 2025 in this day and age is.
Yeah, that's so good. And you can tell when you listen to a champion speak like yourself, it really comes out as, I'm here to help others. And people say, when we interview people to be a new loan officer, let's say, one of the first questions I ask is, why do you want to work with us? Why do you want to be a loan officer? And if I hear somebody say, because I hear you can make a lot of money in this field.
Right.
Ooh, that's a flag.
Yeah.
Right? That's a flag. And but contrast that with somebody else that says, because I really want to help others.
Yeah.
I'm a home buyer and I know the process. I want to help others get into their first home and enjoy the American dream. Oh, that's music to our ears.
Yeah.
Because now we know people are doing things for the right reasons.
Yeah.
The money will follow because that's the business we're in. But we have the right mindset. A champion always puts others first.
Yeah.
They're selfless and they put the interest of other people's first. So that's fantastic. Well, there's one last question.
Okay.
You've clearly identified yourself as a champion that wants to help others, and we learned about what sets you apart, why we should send referrals to you, why people should work with Elizabeth. So, final question to you. There's, and we spoke about this a little bit, during hard times, sometimes realtors are considering leaving the business. You know, I don't think I can do this anymore, or they get discouraged, or whatever it may be. Even folks that have been in it for a long time in the business, and they've tried all their different methods, and things just don't seem to be working like they want them to, and they want to leave. What advice would you give to people right now to be successful as we complete 2025 and move into our next years?
Oh, that's a good one. I would say what I do is I always remember the vision. Remember, or remember your why, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Remember what it was that brought you to this business. What was it that made you say, this is something that I want to do?
Yeah.
And as much as circumstances that happen in our lives can cause us to forget that, or can cause us to go, well, maybe it's not for me, I would always say, stick to that what brought you there in the first place, and pour into it, help it to grow. Whether it was maybe you wanted to have more time for you and your family, maybe you wanted to have more say-so over your life, maybe you wanted to touch the lives of others, maybe it's a combination of all of it. Remember that. And also, one thing I believe that bravery is, yes, being afraid, courage is being afraid, but going forward anyway.
That's good.
I ask myself, what's the worst that could happen? And if I do have an answer, and then I go, okay, well, let's see if it happens, let's see. And so I go for it. And it hasn't happened. The things, I've gotten closer and closer to my goals every day. Yes, there's been ebbs and flows, but when I go back to what brought me here and what was the goal and why did I want to do this again, I'm refreshed and I'm renewed. And so I continue to go forward.
Those are wise words. And just a little bit I can add, for me personally, very similar, is what brought you here. Always count your blessings.
Yes.
I go back and I think, look at all the families I've helped. Hundreds of families. Let me look at that. Oh, yeah, I remember some circumstances and I get messages back to say, thank you so much for saving our house. One of them was a refinance.
Yeah.
And, getting messages like that from people reminds me that I have to stay in touch with those folks.
Yes.
We're not in a one-time transaction. We don't have transactional relationships. They become our family.
Yes.
They become like friends to us. So what I encourage people to do to stay successful is don't forget what got you here. Go back on a daily and contact and reach out to your former clients, your current clients. Make sure that they remember you. Make sure that you remind them, wow, yeah, that was some challenging financial times back then, but look at you, you're in your house now.
Right.
How's things going? Is there anyone that I could help with so they can have the same good experience that you have?
Yeah.
And that helps me stay successful, even during times when the applications were down a few years back.
Right.
I mean, it was tough, but we didn't give up. We kept marketing. In fact, we increased our marketing. I got out. I was door knocking.
Yes.
It was great. And never forget what got you there. Your words will resonate with me because that's what we do too. So thank you for sharing that. That's the recipe for success right here. You want to be a champion, just like Elizabeth. So grateful that you joined us today for our podcast, The Mindset of a Champion. And now we know what sets you apart and why people should work with Elizabeth. So thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much. Thank you, John. This was so awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah.